Terry Tselane, of course, still with us here. And, we were talking about the questions, the sort of education that needs to happen. But Terry, as someone who has been the Vice-Chairperson of the IEC, you now continue doing that work. But do we do enough in terms of civic education? Never mind, voter education for a day like today. Do we do enough civic education as South Africa so that people understand their duty and responsibility as not just active but responsible citizens?
I don't think we're doing enough. Even the kind of the programs that are there are focusing only on those people who are of the voting age. And I think if you talk about civic education and you want to inculcate this in the minds of young people, it is important that you actually focus on lower standards. You go to the schools, you introduce this, so by the time they reach age 16, they already understand their responsibility in the society and they understand how their vote would actually be able to make a difference in the society. Because just to try to chip in when the person is already of the voting age, I don't think it will make much impact in terms of that particular person changing their decision or making up their minds about having to participate in the process. So we've got to inculcate this right at the lower level so that young people can actually understand from early age their civic duty in terms of participation in democratic processes.
And parents, of course, also can assist in this regard by making sure that they, of course, are the example, or at the very least speak to their children about these processes.
Yeah, build that excitement from a very early age. I know that that's what a lot of, certainly I do that, but I'm hoping a lot of other parents do it as well. Just to let the viewer know at home, we have got what one could call an eye in the sky that'll be taking off in KwaZulu-Natal shortly, so we'll get those visuals to you so you can really get a bird's eye view as to what is going on in KwaZulu-Natal, a province we're watching very, very closely. Talking about KwaZulu-Natal, and I really think this is an important issue to address, Terry. There were a lot of allegations of potential voter fraud and vote rigging, and this coming out of KwaZulu-Natal, and these allegations were made over the weekend on social media posts about this vote rigging. You were there, you know exactly how the IEC and the workings of it. How possible is it for anyone to actually come in and rig these elections?
No, I don't think it's going to be any easy for any person to do that. And then firstly, I don't think that the Commission would take a decision to tamper with the will of the people. I think that one is impossible. Whether there are individuals within the system who may try to tamper with the system, of course there is a possibility. It has happened in the past. But the Commission will be able to identify it quite quickly. But also the fact that we've got party agents participating in the process, they will actually also be able to identify it. Yeah. The beauty about the South African system is the transparency that is there. So from the time when the voting station opened, the presiding officer will take that ballot box, open it in the presence of the party agents and observers, show them that there is nothing stacked in that particular ballot box, and from there the station is open with each ballot being put in that ballot box. Now, when that is done, the ballot boxes don't leave the station. That station is turned into a counting station. And then the same ballot boxes that were there are the ones that are opened and then they are counted again in the presence of the party agents. And immediately after that, when they are done, they will then capture the results and the result slip will be stuck outside. They will stick it outside the station, and then from there, they will take a copy of the same result slip to go and capture it in the system. And because you can also see the screenshot of the same result slip, you can be able to compare the information that is captured at the capturing site of the IEC, mostly in the municipal offices, as well as compare it with the actual results slip that was actually captured at the voting station. So you can be able to compare and contrast and see as to whether there is any difference between the two. So I'm quite satisfied that the transparency that is in the process will make people identify any irregularity if there was any. So in the event that the commission is not able to identify it, the party agents will definitely be able to identify it.
And that's the importance of those
Very
party
much so.
agents who are stationed at every single one of those voting stations. But Terry Tselane, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll see much more of you throughout the week.